gorgeous! Okay, so I'm going to get started by getting my hair out of my face using these lace bunny ears just to hold it all back while I get to work. I'm going to begin by applying a foundation primer all over just to help the foundation last a bit longer, hold up better, go on better. I'm shaking up this new foundation that I've been using lately. I'm not so sure how much I like it, but it's a little bit too light, so it's going to help out with the goth theme. I'm using an angled blush brush from this BH Cosmetics set. A blush brush in general is just going to give you a more diffused effect, which is all I need right now because my skin's doing pretty well. Next, I'm taking a concealer that's lighter than my skin tone and I'm applying that underneath the eyes, on the tops of my cheekbones, and along the bridge of my nose just to brighten those areas and bring them forward. And I'm blending all of that out with the same blush brush from the BH Cosmetics set. Before I finish my face though, I'm going to get started on the eyes. So I'm first laying down an eyeshadow primer all over my lids just to prevent any eyeshadows from creasing. I've been liking to use a brush just to smooth this over the lids really evenly. It's going to give a nice application. And then you can go ahead and move on to the brows. You can cover yours to draw them on higher like Jessica Rabbit's are, but I wanted to keep this look slightly realistic, but still keeping with the cartoony feel. I'm using a dark brown pomade to fill in and shape my brows. So if they still look a little bit drawn on, it's fine because overall this look is really bold and it's still kind of cartoony. Speaking of bold, to really carve out the brows to make them pop, I hate doing this on a regular basis, but it works for this look. I'm going in with an angled liner brush and a small amount of concealer just to tidy up the edges, and I even use a little bit of white eyeliner to intensify it a bit. And then I'm brushing on a shadow that matches my skin tone really closely all over my lid just to give a dry, smooth base to blend any other eyeshadows on top of. Then I'm laying down a matte, soft brown eyeshadow in the crease and the sockets just to give the other darker and bolder colors we're going to use something to fade into for a really nice blended and seamless effect. A light shimmery shade for a highlight looks really nice at the inner corners and underneath the brows. And then for the fun colors, I'm using this BH Cosmetics Wild at Heart palette. And starting with this shimmery purple shade and a flat brush, I'm packing that onto the centers of my lids and working up and out. Whenever you want to get the most color payoff, you're better off using patting motions instead of swiping motions. Switching over to the BH Cosmetics Wild and Free palette because I wanted to get this vibrant blue, and I'm working that right into the outer edges and around the purple. And then just to darken the overall look up, I'm going to use a dark black eyeshadow at the outer V and into the crease like this, just taking my time to really build that up, build up the intensity and blend. As I always say, it's better to start out with less product than you think you need and work your way up. It's easier to build up intensity than to try to tone things down later. So once I'm happy with the results, I go back to the face just to clean up any fallout and also clean up the edges. I wanted to go for a very edgy version of Jessica Rabbit, and to do that, I took some white foundation onto a flat brush, also from that set that I showed you before, and I dabbed that along the tops of my cheekbones and carefully made the edges of the eyeshadow more crisp and clean. And then I'm setting everything in place with some powder. So once that's done, you can go ahead and start lining your eyes. I'm creating a little bit of a wing with a black gel liner, and along the lower lash line, I'm kind of lining a little bit farther from it. And then here I'm just finishing up that wing and creating a really nice dramatic one. I'm filling that in. This is just supposed to elongate the shape of the eyes, and to really help bring that home, I'm adding a little bit of a wing at the inner corners to give that nice slinky effect. And then with a short little brush, I'm taking some brown eyeshadow and even a little bit of black, and I'm dabbing that along the lower lash line just to soften any harsh lines and give a little bit more of that sultry, smoky effect. And just really tie everything together. And then I'm using the tip of this brush to just soften that out a little bit just so it's not too harsh. And of course, lots and lots of black mascara, and I'm throwing on some really nice dramatic lashes. And then for no reason other than just fun, I dabbed a little bit of this blue, pink, purple holographic glitter liner to the very center of the lower lash line. I just thought it would catch the light really nicely and add a little bit of a twinkle. And then taking a black gel liner, I'm using that to fill in my beauty marks just to kind of intensify them and make them look more drawn on and cartoony. Okay, so back to the face. We're going to do some contouring. I'm taking a taupe blush and a fluffy face brush just to get a really nice soft and subtle definition along the hollows of the cheeks. And then with a smaller brush, I used that same taupe shadow along the sides of the nose, and for a more kind of bunny buttony effect, I dusted a little bit all the way around the tip. I still wanted extra concentration at the deepest points of the cheekbones, so I took that same product, but this time I'm using a skinny flat brush just to focus the product right into the hollows of the cheeks. And that really, you can see already how it just really bumps things up and intensifies it. But to add even more intensity, I'm taking a lighter powder. You can use a face powder, anything that's just quite a bit lighter than your natural skin tone. And I went below the contouring to really make the cheeks pop. It's all about creating a really nice contrast. And finally, for the lips, I was debating on going for a dark red or a black lip. So I had started out with this deep red lip liner at first, but then I ended up going all out with a black lip. Instead of using a dark red lip liner, I could have used a black eyeliner pencil for a more crisp edge, but overall I think this turned out really well, and I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, and as always, I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Bye!